Ah, yes, the moon. Everybody's second favorite giant space rock, bested only by that of Earth. But if you're like me, you have one question. Why is it that this giant space rock in the middle of space randomly disappears once a month? Huh? Tell me, is the government taking the moon from us? Huh? Yeah, give me answers, okay? I want answers about this! As you can see from the former clip, many are unaware of how the moon phases work, but I today will be teaching you. Let's start with the beginning of the moon cycle, known as the new moon. As you can see from the image, the moon currently looks like what happens when you put macaroni and cheese in the microwave but forget to put water in it. This is the result of the moon being sandwiched in between Earth and the sun, with us only being able to see the dark side of the moon. This moon phase is often considered to be the first moon phase in the moon phase cycle. This is why it's referred to as the new moon. The second moon phase in the moon phase cycle is known as the waxing crescent. As shown from the image, the waxing crescent looks like a donut some toddler came up and took a bite out of, and then put straight back into the donut box. The waxing crescent gets its shape from its position from the sun. As you can see from the chart, the waxing crescent is located just slightly away from the new moon. The moon is starting to be illuminated on just one side, currently. This gives it a crescent shape, thus giving it the name of the waxing crescent. The third moon phase is what's referred to as the first quarter moon phase. As you can see, the first quarter moon phase is only half the moon is lit up by the sun. This is once again due to its position from the sun, which is directly above or below the Earth depending on which way your chart is mirrored. This causes the moon to look as divided as the current US political system. The fourth moon phase, and the final of the waxing moon phases, is called the waxing gibbous. As you can see, the waxing gibbous looks kind of like a science project you put off doing to the last minute and had to rush the night and morning before it was due. Somewhat full, but not good enough to be considered a full project, or in this case, moon. Look at this thing. It's just ugly. I can't even think of any good jokes about it. Its existence is the joke. It's just kind of sad to look at, honestly. It's trying to be a full moon, but it just can't. It just doesn't have the power. It's honestly sad. As you can see from the chart, about 3/4 of it, around that, is lit up by the sun. Yeah, I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to look at or talk about this thing anymore, so I'm just going to move on to the next one.
It's time for the moment you've been waiting for.
The full moon!
Well, we have done it. We've made it to the full moon, also known as the greatest moon phase of all time. Look at it in all of its glory. It's like a dinner plate. It's like a freshly shined dinner plate. I don't know if you even shine dinner plates, but it looks like you shined a dinner plate. Okay, look at this. It looks like a freaking fresh diamond. Okay, it's beautiful. It's amazing. It makes me feel happy. It's awesome, okay? Now, as you can see from the chart, this beautiful moon phase is found at this position from the sun and Earth. Okay, this is this is how this glorious moon phase is shown to us. Okay, as you can see, the sun reflects 100% onto the moon, and it goes back onto the Earth, and it's beautiful. Okay, I can talk non-stop about how amazing this moon phase is, but I'm not, because this video will be a lot longer. Okay, just look at its glory. It's amazing. Now see, the full moon was beautiful, but you want to know what's not beautiful? You want to know what's disgusting? Do you want to know what's like the lowest thing possible? Okay, it's the waning gibbous. Okay, you want to know what waning means? It means the moon is getting less bright. Okay, it's getting less good, and that's what the waning gibbous marks. Okay, the downward spiral. Okay, the downward spiral of the moon. Okay, it's awful. It's horrible. I hate it. I think we should all hate it. I think we should collectively just hate the waning gibbous. Okay, it's awful. It's an eyesore. Okay, disgusting. I hate it. I spit on the ground it walks on. But alas, I am required to address which position from the earth and sun the waning gibbous is found. You see, it's found in this specific spot, this specific awful spot right here. Now that we have addressed where the sun must shine upon this horrid thing to create the awful shape of the waning gibbous, I will now continue to shun this monstrosity. Well, we have done it. We have gotten away from the waning gibbous, and have now entered the third quarter moon phase. See, the difference between third and first quarter moon phases is almost nothing, except for the two moon phases are mirrored. Everything about them is flipped over. Now, as you can see from the side-by-side comparison of both the phases and the positions from the Earth and Sun of the phases, they are just flipped over. They're just the same exact thing, just going in different directions. And now we have reached the last phase. The final phase. The series finale of phases, if you will. Of the moon phases. We have reached the waning crescent. The return of the mostly eaten donut itself. Here once more. The exact same way as the waxing crescent, but flipped over. Okay, look at this side-by-side comparison once more of the waning and waxing crescent. Do you see anything different? Almost nothing. They are just mirrored. One's just getting darker while the other's getting brighter. They are almost the exact same things. Well, excuse me for what just happened there. But, as you can see by this side-by-side comparison, both the moon phases look and are positioned in a way that's almost identical, aside from being flipped. This is how the waning and waxing phases work. They are just really the same, but flipped over.